Good afternoon. Welcome to game number 12B here on Sunday at Flat Track Fever 2026. I am Sonia Blade, joined by
Carnage.
And we are here to see Mischief taking on the Dam City Rollers. We just trying to pull up some rosters for the people at home, but I cannot quite not seeing where they are on our overlay system here. So you know what? I'm just going to read them out for you. Skating in black today on E-Ville Mischief, we've got number 17, Stefunky Fresh. 222, Oscar the Ouch. 22, Rit Riot. 225, Kala. 234, Curvicious. 41, Magic Wanda. 45, Resident Weevil. 56, Charlie Horse. 66, Cat Von Doom. Number 8, Cross. 800, Grace Bones. 88, Roland Ishii. And number 123, Onyx. Skating in white for the Dam City Rollers, we have number 123, Jester. 1474, Cakes. 15, Hanimal. 187, Peacemaker. 36, Salem Bitchcraft. 401, Diva. 402, Chaos. 456, Ruthless. 519, Ruckus. 669, Jinjo Fight Us. 789, Snarly Simon. 88, Slayin Mantis. And number 91, Kitty Carnage. I believe Dam City also has number 403 Smash and Dash because I see them on the bench with a star on their helmet. So that's usually a good sign that they're going to play as well. It's like we're just finishing up our discussions amongst coaches and captains with the officials.
We just want to give a big thanks to all of our officials and volunteers here today, all of our skaters, and everybody who made Flat Track Fever 2026 possible.
And a very special thank you to West Legal for sponsoring both of our tracks here at Flat Track Fever 2026. They had themselves a nice little VIP section right where the action happens at turn number 1. You can see our skaters just getting those last minute vibes out before we get to the action. So unless they do any last minute swap outs, looks like it's going to be Oscar the Ouch donning that star first for the Mischief. And I want to say that's going to be Peacemaker for the Dam City Rollers. We're underway. Oscar the Ouch wasting no time to secure that lead advantage.
We have Peacemaker right behind for the Dam Rollers.
Oscar the Ouch so quick to get around that track, firing on all cylinders. Looks like it's going to be a full 4 points going to the E-Ville Roller Derby Mischief. Taking to our Trail Appliances jam line, looks like it's going to be Smash and Dash versus Stefunky Fresh. Smash and Dash quick to get to the top of that pack, but the Mischief absolutely locking down along that straightaway there. Jester moving in to try and split up that defensive formation, and it'll be Smash and Dash as your lead jammer. Stefunky looking very patient, waiting for those opportunities to be created in that defensive formation by Dam City. Cakes there, the last line of defense. Oh, it does look like it's going to be a cut track penalty called on Stefunky Fresh. So Smash and Dash now on a power jam. See Charlie Horse there guiding Smash and Dash into that defensive formation put forth by Mischief. Cat getting a little bit spread out there at the top of that apex, but Blocker's doing a great job reforming before penalties need to be assessed. Cakes and Smash and Dash there doing a little teammate tango there. Does look like Cakes going to be sent to our Genuine sponsored penalty box for a forearm penalty.
We got Smash and Dash getting through, scoring 4 points. And a big hit over there given to the Black Jammer.
Huge jam for the Dam City Rollers on behalf of Smash and Dash, putting 17 points up, giving us our very first lead change of the game.
So far the number's 28 and they're both adult teams.
Yeah. I think it was Tri-City and Divergence.
Oh, yes, it was actually. We have cross sharing for Mischief and Zilla Bitchcraft getting through for the Dam.
Excellent two-wall formation being put forth by the Apex, and a Apex hop attempt shut down by Dam City Rollers. Salem Bitchcraft opting to remove that star cover, plot out their next move. Snarly Simon trying to get in the middle of that defensive formation and create some opportunities. Tiny apex hop there performed by Cross will secure another 4 points for E-Ville, brings their total up to 12.
We have Chaos for the Dam City Rollers getting through, scoring lead and getting rid of the initial pass for this jam for Dam City. And Chaos lapped the track, putting 4 points up on the board for the Dam City.
Onyx still fighting their way through that pack. Does look like we have a successful star pass cover. That is going to be Kala, our new jammer of record. And shout out to Dame Tamer for designing these beautiful new jerseys being sported by E-Ville here today. I believe this is their jersey debut.
We have Labadie jamming from Mischief with Peacemaker for the Dam City Rollers. And Peacemaker gets to the pack, scoring lead.
Very strong two-wall formation being put forth by Dam City Rollers. making Oscar the outs work for absolutely every inch of momentum on this track.
And Peacemaker calls off the jam.
Quick single point put up there by Dam City Rollers that extends their lead by 14 points. So still anybody's game here as we head into jam number 6.
Manager Dam City, Jammer gets through.
Stefunky Fresh finds room to run along that outside line, quick to secure that initial pass. Smash and Dash taking a moment to get instructions from the bench. Going to keep things going for now. Smash and Dash bringing that jam to its conclusion, having been satisfied with a 7-point gain for the Dam City Rollers, but 3 points going to the Mischief on that one. Got Salem Bitchcraft donning that star for Dam City Rollers, and that is cross for the Mischief. Bitchcraft quick to get to the top of the pack, but met by a solid formation by the Mischief. That allows Cross to get through as your lead jammer. Quick cut to that outside line, gets Cross through for the first 4 points in the pocket. Mischief absolutely locking down on Salem Bitchcraft, and we do have ourselves a star pass, but not if E-Ville has something to say about it. That last line of defense as we round at turn number 1. That's going to be a huge 12-point jam put up by the Mischief. That brings our total up to 27 versus the Dam City Rollers, 33. It's only 6 points separating these two teams. Just about 20 minutes left to go here in the first half.
We have Onyx cheering for Team Mischief and Chaos for the Dam City Rollers.
Onyx at the top of the pack. 2 left to beat as we round turn number 2. Gets past those last 2 hips and is your lead jammer. Little bit of a stumble there by Chaos, but very quick to get back on their feet and back into the action. Does look like a cut track penalty being assessed to Onyx. That'll send them to our Genuine sponsored penalty box as Dam City Rollers successfully pass the star to Jester.
Jester on the toes on the inside line of the straightaway, getting through, scoring 4 points for Team Dam City.
Jester just absorbing all of these hits from Mischief blockers, making it easy work of putting up another 4 points.
Some
Sorry.
some footwork on that inside line gets Jester through the jam.
Jester getting knocked to that outside there, not falling for the bridge back at the moment, but now with our backwards moving pack, Jester forced to recycle behind Kala along that back straightaway. Taken to our Trail Appliances jam line. Looks like it's going to be Peacemaker versus Oscar the Ouch. Peacemaker very quick to take off that star, create those opportunities, gets past the hips of Grace Bones, and is through with the initial pass as Oscar the Ouch puts up those first 4 points. Looks like we have the pivot for Dam City Rollers in your genuine sponsored penalty box. So slight pack advantage going to go to the Mischief, but not before we have ourselves a little team timeout called by E-Ville. You play the next one on this track?
That's a great question.
I know, they keep like messing
If I'm playing against Lethbridge, and Lethbridge is a league I actually play with and lost to it.
Oh.
So I don't know whether I want to win or lose.
I just hope everybody has fun.
Looks like our next jammer from Mischief is the Funky Fresh. And for our Dam City Rollers, we have Salem Bitchcraft. We have Salem Bitchcraft getting through, scoring lead, and getting rid of that initial pass for your team Dam City Rollers.
Just Funky Fresh getting clipped on that outside line. Bridged the long way back by number 1, 2, 3 for Dam City. That is Jester. Ruckus getting in the middle of that defensive formation put forth by the Mischief to try and split them apart, but Mischief defense just rotating effortlessly around.
And Salem Bitchcraft gets through, picking up 4 points for the Dam City Rollers.
Funky Fresh still trapped within this pack. Excellent defensive formations being put forth by the Dam City Rollers here at turn number 1.
And we have a star pass going on for the Mischief right now.
Salem Bitchcraft being held at bay by a very strong 2-wall by the Mischief. Now being supported by their third blocker there.
Salem gets through, putting 4 points up on for the Dam City Rollers.
Cala pausing for a moment before re-engaging with that 3-wall by Dam City Rollers. Absolutely locking down on them.
I'm gonna go get my jersey on. All right. Thank you very much, though. Sorry I couldn't be here for so long.
We've got Cross as your lead jammer here in jam number 11. Smash and Dash does get through the pack, and Cross, seeing the impending threat, going to deny points to Dam City Rollers in this round, adding 4 to the Mischief's total. Up next on our Trail Appliances jam line, looks like we're going to have Chaos donning the star for the Dam City Rollers, and that is Onyx for Mischief. Chaos lining up well behind that pack to give themselves a nice little running start, but I believe the blockers are ready and waiting. Chaos trying to push up that inside line, ultimately met with a 3-wall from the Mischief, gonna reconsider that trajectory. Beautiful work by Jester getting to the top of that pack there, but will ultimately be sent to the Genuine sponsored penalty box on a forearm call, I believe. Mischief doing some great work here, rotating to that front of the pack. That was Rollerin Ishii, the last line of defense there. So welcome everybody who is tuning in from track 1 while we take an extended official timeout to tend to a downed skater. We've got Oscar the Ouch donning the star for Mischief, and that's Peacemaker for Dam City Rollers. Peacemaker cutting to that outside, but Mischief blockers, they're ready and waiting to shut down that path forward. Resident E-Ville, the last line of defense there, does manage to take Peacemaker to that outside line. Enough time for the Mischief to reform up front, but it will be Peacemaker as your lead jammer of record. Oscar the Ouch does look like it was enough of a foot out of bounds, out of that track boundary to force a cut track to be called. So this will be a power jam scenario. Peacemaker now in full control of this jam number 13. Peacemaker through with those first 4 points in the pocket. Blockers jostling for position along that straightaway there. Dam City trying to keep one of the Mischief blockers with them to maintain that pack definition, but not quite able to hold on. Those blockers can be so slippery sometimes. So that's going to be an additional point to the Dam City Rollers total, bringing them up to 64 points. Mischief still holding strong at 44. And that is going to freeze Oscar the Out in our Genuine sponsored penalty box. That'll be a very brief power start for Dam City Rollers, with Oscar already standing for those remaining 10 seconds or less. Smash and dash. Lead advantage for Dam City Rollers. Do you see a high block penalty being assessed? I believe that is Grace Bones now reporting to that penalty box. Smash and dash through on a wide open inside lane. Oscar the Ouch now through for that initial pass. Penalty box starting to fill up a little bit on the Mischief side. Beautiful apex hop by Smash and Dash there. That'll be another 4 points to the Dam City Rollers before bringing that jam to a conclusion. Dam City going to have themselves a very nice pack advantage as we head into jam number 15. Looks like it's going to be Chaos donning the star for Dam City versus Stefunky Fresh. Chaos just tiptoeing on that inside line. Resident Weevil not going to make this an easy initial pass to acquire, but it will. Very strong dynamic duo out there by the Mischief. That is Resident Weevil and number 66 for Mischief. That is Cat Von Doom. Now being joined by Grace Bones. Both teams now with their full blocking contingents regained on the track. Resident Weevil knocking Chaos to that inside, going to limit that next scoring pass to 2-point gain for a grand total of 6 points to the Dam City Rollers. Looks like it's going to be Onyx donning the star for Mischief, and that's going to be Sail and Bitchcraft for Dam City. Sounds like there is a forearm penalty being assessed on the jammer for Dam City, so that's going to be Onyx as your lead jammer, and on a power jam on behalf of E-Ville Mischief. Onyx taken out of bounds, and Pat going to move backwards at the moment. Going to make this the trip the long way round. Why not go behind that Trail Appliances jam line? Oh, Pat getting extended as far as I have seen it go. Pack extended almost to its maximum capacity here, just taking up all that space along the straightaway. Salem Bitchcraft now being sent for a cut track penalty, going to return to that Trail Appliance, or sorry, Genuine sponsored penalty box. My mistake. Ruthless with the knockout and very long bridge back on on Onyx. Onyx gonna bring that jam to a conclusion after adding 2 points to the Mischief's total. That means Salem Bitchcraft going to start the jam from our Genuine sponsored penalty box. So this is going to be a very brief power start to the Mischief as we head into jam number 17. Just under 6.5 minutes left to go here, but not before we have ourselves a quick official timeout. I love how the blockers are just vibing with those cheers coming from the crowd. Whatever you got to do to get yourself through these timeouts. So don't forget to stop by all of our amazing vendors before they close out for the day. Over here on track number 2. Or on track number 1 once it reopens. Make sure to go visit Derby Girl Chocolates, doing some fundraising for their various upcoming Derby travels. And be sure to stop by and say hi to Roxy Acetylene over at Nerd Skate. All right, so cross on this power start for the E-Ville Mischief. Wasting no time to secure that lead advantage. No pack called. And I do see a penalty being assessed for a pack destruction there. I don't quite see a skater leaving the track just yet. Oh, that might be Grace Bones reporting to our Genuine sponsored penalty box. Dam City locking down on cross, making them work for every inch of momentum forward. Does look like it'll be the full 4 points awarded to Mischief, bringing their total up to 50 points. Dam City still holding strong at 78. We've got Smash and Dash as our lead jammer here in Jam 18. Oscar the Ouch donning that beautiful star cover for the Mischief there, but Dam City Rollers absolutely locking down. It's like Roller and Ishii trying to mix up that 3-wall provided by Dam City Rollers. Beautiful. Ouch there to get through for that initial pass. Does look like Smash and Dash has been sent to our Genuine sponsored penalty box. Will be on a power jam for the Mischief. Ruckus with a hit to the outside on Oscar the Ouch.
It's like we know we're gonna get our butts handed to us, but like even just the vibes on the track too. It's like, are you guys even enjoying what you're doing right now? Like, are you guys having fun? Are you okay?
We are back to the action here. Cross with a power start, getting a beautiful jersey whip off of their teammate there, taking them down. But you know what? Sometimes you got to sacrifice one of your own to get that lead advantage. Smash and Dash stashing that star to get through for the initial pass. Cross collecting all 4 points and bringing it to a conclusion before having a little sit down there at turn number 1. It's okay, Cross. You've definitely earned it. Little over 3.5 minutes left to go here in the first half. Both these teams definitely working very hard here on track number 2. Thank you to those joining us from track number 1 while the medics attend to one of our downed skaters. We got Funky Fresh versus Chaos as our next jammer matchup. It's Funky Fresh quick to cut to that outside and will be your lead jammer. Mischief with a very nice open inside lane there. I do see a cut track penalty being assessed to Jinjo Vitus. So Funky Fresh calling that one from the ground, almost taking one of our refs with them, but it looks like everybody is up and smiling. Always what we love to see. Don't worry, Squid, it looked cool. Points for style, if I could. I feel like that should be a thing for the next Shenanigans game. Announcers should be able to give points for style. Looks like we had a couple overzealous skaters on our track as that team timeout being called by Dam City Rollers. Don't forget to stop by the Calgary Junior Roller Derby and Calgary Roller Derby merch table. Selling some beautiful shirts this weekend. Oh, it looks like we might need a little bit of track repair there on that WFTDI sponsored pivot line. Skaters definitely testing the durability of that tape on this beautiful track number 2. It's always nice to see our track repair crew getting some love. Smash and Dash versus Onyx, our next jammer matchup. Smash and Dash opting to do a little bit of defense versus Onyx before securing that lead advantage for Dam City. Onyx slowly making their way around the track, but it is number 4, 5, 6 Ruthless there to knock them out of bounds. Cutting to that inside line. Onyx through for that initial pass. Smash and Dash finds a wide open outside lane to get through. Checking in with the bench. Gonna let things keep going for now. Full 4 points on the board for Dam City Rollers, and that'll be 4 points going to the Mischief as well. Smash and Dash checking in with those bench coaches and deciding to bring things to a conclusion, having been satisfied with an 8-point game for the Dam City Rollers. Score currently sitting 88 points to Dam City, 63 to the Mischief. Exactly 1 minute to go in this first half. Looks like we got one blocker apiece in our Genuine sponsored penalty box. No real pack advantage here in jam number 23. As Oscar the Ouch donning the star versus Chaos. Chaos going to be out first with lead in hand. Dam City absolutely locking down on Oscar the Ouch as we come around turn number 2. Not quite able to take Oscar the Ouch to that out of bounds point through for that initial pass. Chaos maintaining their balance inbound somehow, some way on one leg, making it look fairly easy, but full 4 points being awarded to Dam City Rollers, just knocking at that century mark. And that does bring us to halftime. Very exciting first half indeed between E-Ville Roller Derby Mischief and Dam City Rollers. Please be sure to check out all of our amazing vendors here on track number 2 before they pack up their things to close out our weekend here. And come back in about 14 minutes or so as we have the exciting second half of this game. All right, just about time to get underway with the second half of E-Ville Roller Derby Mischief versus Dam City Rollers. Looks like we got Smash and Dash and Cross as our first jammer matchup. Smash and Dash using those beautiful lateral movements to secure lead advantage for Dam City. Cross finds a wide open outside lane, does get past the last line of defense provided by Jester. Gets through for that initial pass. Smash and Dash with a quick cut to the inside line, secures all 4 points, brings that jam to a conclusion. Dam City Rollers almost filling that first 100-point bucket. Mischief about 37 points away from filling that first bucket of their own, but anything can happen here. Here on track number 2. Looks like we've got Oscar the Ouch donning the star for Mischief, and that is Salem Bitchcraft for Dam City. Bitchcraft quick to get to the top of that pack. Oscar the Ouch now switching positions to get to the front and through as your lead jammer. Oscar the Ouch with a very beautiful spin move. Doesn't quite stick the landing there at turn number 4, but is able to call things off from the ground after securing a full 4-point pass. That brings the Mischief's total up to 67 points. I heard Dam City calling out that score for the Mischief, 6-7. Chaos and Stefunky Fresh, your next jammer matchup here. Chaos quick to get to the top of that pack, but Mischief with a very solid 4-blocker wall being provided there. Pivot for Dam City, trying to move in and split apart that defensive formation, but Mischief just rotating effortlessly right around. Charlie Horse there anchoring down the 3-wall for the Mischief, and that is Caleb, last line of defense, but Chaos gets get through for that lead jammer. Stefunky Fresh running on those toe stops along that inside line through for the initial pass for the Mischief. Chaos getting a little jostled between those blocker bodies and with the wherewithal to call things off while getting tossed around. That'll be 3 points to Dam City Rollers total, just 1 point shy of that century mark. Smash and Dash back on the track with that star, but it'll be Onyx through, finding a wide open outside lane to secure that lead advantage for the Mischief. Smash and Dash very quick to remove that star cover and is able to maneuver around those blockers from E-Ville to get through for that initial pass as Onyx comes back into the fray, trying to stick that landing on one leg. Ultimately stepping out of bounds and going to call things off. Looks like it's going to be a 0-0 jam here in jam number 4. Looks like the Mischief are going to send Cross out with the star versus Salem Bitchcraft. It's a very tight pack to get things going here. Everybody holding their ground close to that Trail Appliances jam line. Bitchcraft trying to cut to those inside and outside lines, while at the same time trying to smartly stay towards the middle of the track, not wanting to get pushed out of bounds and bridge back. Looks like the star successfully passed to Ruckus for Dam City as Cross gets through, secures those 4 points, and brings that jam to its conclusion. That'll bring the Mischief's total up to 71. Dam City still just 1 point shy of that century mark. Looks like we got one blocker for Dam City in our Genuine sponsored penalty box. A back advantage going to go to E-Ville as we head into Jam 6. That's going to be Stefunky Fresh versus Chaos as your next jammer matchup. Mischief with a very strong 3-wall formation here as we approach turn number 1. Chaos using those beautiful lateral movements does find a little bit of wiggle room there on lane 1 to get through for that lead jam advantage. Stefunky Fresh now being met by Jester for Dam City. A little bit of acrobatics there at turn number 2. I always get worried when those feet are in the air. I'm like, somebody's going to get a skate to the head. It's going to be unpleasant. Chaos through with the first 4 points in the pocket. Does look like the star successfully passed on the Mischief side. That is going to be Resident Weevil as our new jammer. But Dam City Roller blockers were ready and waiting, but not quite able to take Weevil out of bounds. Weevil losing their footing a little bit there at the turn number 4.
More raffle items. We want to let people know to get tickets and put them in. We're drawing it.
Just to let everybody know, there's going to be more raffle items being drawn at 3:30 today. So you have until 3:30 to visit the Chinook City merch table and purchase those raffle tickets for some wonderful prizes. I believe tickets are available by a $2 donation. We've got Oscar the Ouch donning the star for the Mischief. And that is Smash and Dash out first as your lead jammer. Oscar trying to ride that outside line, but ultimately steps out of bounds enough to force the recycle. Now been getting bridged back by Jester. Smash and Dash looking very calm as they approach this formation by the Mischief. Dash taking a chance, trying to ride that outside line, but does step out enough to force the recycle, wanting to play things safe. Oscar the Ouch finds a wide open outside lane to get through for the first 4 points for the Mischief. Smash and Dash able to bring that jam to a conclusion before the Mischief can do any additional damage, having secured 3 points for the Dam City Rollers. So once again, the raffle draw going to be taking place at 3:30 today. So be sure to stop by the Chinook City merch table to purchase your tickets. Onyx taking advantage of some offensive assistance from their blocker, number 66 for the Mischief. That is Kat Von Doom, splitting apart that blocking formation. And a very quick 4 point scoring pass. Sailing Bitchcraft opting to hang on to that star for the moment, hoping that these blockers for the Mischief will create an opportunity to get free for that initial pass. And that very quick star pass successfully executed. That's going to be Ruthless as our new jammer of record. Onyx getting knocked to that outside, checking in with those bench coaches. Going to bring that jam to its conclusion. 8 points to the Mischief's total, brings them up to 83. Dam City still holding strong at 109. Cross versus Chaos, your next jammer matchup. Chaos quick to get to the top of that pack, but Mischief Blocker is ready and waiting with a very strong 3-wall formation. Cross cutting quickly to that outside. Dam City Blockers looking a little bit separated there. That allows Cross to get through for lead jam advantage. Chaos with one left to beat along that back straightaway roll around ECE, not making that an easy pass to acquire, but they are through for that initial as Cross puts up full 4-point scoring pass. Looks like one blocker in our genuine penalty box on the Dam City side. So pack advantage goes to the Mischief as we head into Jam 10. Looks like it's going to be Oscar the Ouch donning the star versus Smash and Dash. Smash and Dash just punches their way through that pack to secure that lead advantage. Want to give a special thank you to our medical staff taking such wonderful care of all of our skaters this weekend. They have definitely been putting in some work here. It's like our officials just having a quick discussion while they have the opportunity with this official timeout.
Stream that. Thank you.
This looks like it is Oscar the Ouch and Smash and Dash. Once again, a repeat jammer matchup. Smash and Dash quick to earn that lead advantage on behalf of the Dam City Rollers as Oscar the Ouch taken to that outside, going to be bridged back the long way behind that WFTDI pivot line. That's going to be a low block penalty being assessed to Oscar the Ouch. Possibly, oh, that is going to be 2 penalties assessed to the Mischief Jammer. So Smash and Dash now on this power jam advantage, in full control of this jam number 11. Charlie Horse, the first line of defense as Smash and Dash comes back into the pack. Mischief Blockers looking a little bit separated as they round to turn number 3. Smash and Dash taking full advantage of that positioning. Gonna bring that jam to a conclusion and leave Oscar the Ouch in our genuine sponsored penalty box. That'll be a power start for Dam City Rollers as we head into Jam 12. Looks like Dam City are going to send out Chaos with a star. But not before we have ourselves a quick team timeout brought to you by E-Ville Roller Derby's Mischief. So once again, if you are here in person with us, please go visit the Chinook City merch table to purchase those raffle tickets. Raffles are going to be drawn at 3:30 today. Lots of amazing prizes to be won, including a dine-in stay package by the Carriage House. Includes a one-night stay in a premium room with full hot breakfast buffet for up to 2 people and a $50 credit to any of their food and beverage outlets. That is a $350 prize. Raffle tickets are available by $2 donation. Taken to our Trail Appliances Jam line. Once again, Chaos with the star on this power start. Beautiful work by Dam City Roller blockers to swarm that formation provided by the Mischief. Dam City opting to secure one of the Mischief blockers at the back of the pack, maintaining that pack definition with them. Both blocking contingents very quick to reform as that no pack called. Looks like Oscar the Ouch now back into the action. Dam City blockers ready and waiting with a very solid 3-wall. Beautiful footwork on display here by the jammer Chaos, making it look easy to put up another full 4-point scoring pass, extending the Dam City Rollers lead. Little hop, skip, and a jump there by Chaos. Oh, but it does look like a cut track penalty will be assessed. That'll send them to our Genuine sponsored penalty box. Power Jam now shifts in favor of the Mischief. We're going to go a full 2 minutes here in Jam 12. Dam City blockers locking down on Oscar the Ouch at the top of the pack. Mischief trying to move in to split apart that defensive formation. Oscar the Ouch being delivered a huge hit, taking them out of bounds and gonna bridge back to the top of that apex as our jam clock comes to its natural 2-minute conclusion. Does look like our penalty box currently sitting empty. Both teams going to be at full strength as we head into Jam 13. Looks like it's going to be Stefunky Fresh versus Salem Bitchcraft, our next jammer matchup. Just a jumble of bodies as we slowly make our way around the track. Beautiful spin move by Salem Bitchcraft to secure that lead jammer advantage. Stefunky Fresh getting taken out of bounds, bridge back by Gingophytus. Dam City putting forward a very strong formation. Quick cut to that outside by Stefunky Fresh, but Ultimately met by the last line of defense for Dam City to force the recycle. Funky Fresh running on all cylinders to get through for that initial. Salem Bitchcraft going to deny points for the Mischief in this round. Dam City now sitting at 136 points to the Mischief's 87. Little over 13 minutes left to go here in the second half. Coming up next on this track is going to be the Calgary Junior Roller Derby taking on the Windy City Wipeouts. And we'll have Gas City Inferno with Natural Born Thrillers to close things out here at Flat Track Fever 2026. Beautiful cut to that inside by Cross to dodge that last hit by Jester. And the Star Stash does prove effective for Dam City Rollers to get smash and dash free. Cross securing 2 points for the Mischief before bringing that jam to a conclusion. That brings Mischief's total up to 89 points. Taking to our Trail Appliances jam line is Onyx versus Chaos. Onyx being awarded lead jam status. Dam City Rollers with 2 blockers left at the front of the pack to keep them at bay for a couple extra seconds. And the jammer race is on with Chaos also free on that initial. Beautiful footwork by Chaos there. Almost sticks the landing around that outside line, but the jam being called, preventing the recycle that time. Looks like it'll be an additional 2 points going to the Mischief. Looks like we're going to have ourselves a quick official timeout while we do a little track maintenance here. It did look like a little bit of that tape being pulled up with the jammer skates there riding that outside line. And a special thank you to our tape crew making sure that our skaters are nice and safe. Looks like we got Smash and Dash down in the start for Dam City and Oscar the Ouch for Mischief. Oscar the Ouch was out first and will be your lead jammer before being reabsorbed by this Dam City formation. Opting to bring that jam to a very quick conclusion, having seen Smash and Dash threatening to add points to the Dam City Rollers total. Mischief just 9 points shy of filling that first 100-point bucket. Salem Bitchcraft and Funky Fresh, our next jammer matchup. Seems to be a popular matchup so far in this game. Funky at the top of the pack. Dam City trying to lock down as best they can, now being reduced to a 2-wall formation comprised of Ruckus and another blocker I can't quite identify. Just an absolute powerhouse of a 2-wall being provided by Dam City. Mischief blockers locking down on Salem Bitchcraft at the back of the pack. Bitchcraft starting to get a little bit of momentum there. Through for the... Sorry, that is Funky Fresh as your lead jammer. Bitchcraft opting to remove that star, hoping to create some opportunities to get free for that initial pass. But Stefanki Fresh going to bring that jam to a conclusion. That'll be another 2 points, I believe. Yes, 2 points to the Mischief. That brings their total up to 93. Dam City still holding strong at 137. Just about 8.5 minutes left to go here in the second half. Looks like we're going to have ourselves a team timeout being called by Dam City Rollers. We do have one blocker in the box on the Dam City side, so Mischief going to have themselves the pack advantage as we head into Jam 18. All right, rolling whistle, usually a good sign. Things are about to get back to the action. Taking to our Trail Appliances jam line, we've got Chaos versus Cross. Cross wasting no time to secure that lead jammer advantage on behalf of the Mischief. Chaos still fighting with all of their might, ping-ponging off these blockers, but still has to get past Resident E-Ville to be free. Pack getting stretched to its absolute maximum capacity. Cross now back into the fray, secures at least a couple of points from the Dam City rolling blockers. Yep, 2 of them to be exact. Mischief managing to hold Dam City Rollers scoreless for the last couple of jams here. Looks like Dam City are going to send out Smash and Dash with a star, hoping to switch things up a little bit versus Onyx. Smash and Dash just absorbing hit after hit and will be your lead jammer here in jam number 19. Dam City Rollers just locking down on Onyx at the back of the pack. Very strong 2-wall formation on display here by Dam City, now being supported by their third, that is Ruckus, to brace that 2-wall. Onyx with the star stash technique, but does look like it's going to be a 4-arm penalty assessed to Onyx, so that will give Dam City Rollers a power start. Dam City Rollers sending out Chaos on this power start. Do you hear a clockwise block penalty being assessed to a Dam City blocker? Chaos now through with that lead advantage in hand. Mischief blockers ready and waiting with a very strong looking 4-wall formation. Pack slowly creeping its way around turn number 1. Chaos just absorbing hit after hit by these blockers. I do hear a clockwise block penalty now being assessed to a Dam City roller blocker. Onyx taken out of bounds, bridge to the top of the apex. Blockers forced to abandon that formation to reform that pack. Dam City with a very strong 3-wall, just seem to be matching Onyx step for step. Beautifully executed star pass, sneaking around the outside of those bodies. Resident Weevil does get free of the pack, but won't get the opportunity to score here in jam number 20. Dam City being satisfied with the full 4 points on the board. Sorry, 8 points. That brings them up to 149. Mischief still holding strong at 95 points. A little under 5 minutes left to go here in the second half. Smash and Dash and Oscar the Outs ready and waiting on this Trail Appliances jam line. Smash and Dash just bowling over blockers, but it is Oscar the Ouch through as your lead jammer. Smash and Dash only about a half track behind, hoping to put on some pressure. Dam City ready and waiting for the arrival of Oscar the Ouch. No pack called. Does force those blockers to reform, having abandoned their defensive formations. Smash and Dash taking full advantage to get through for the full 4 points in the pocket. Oscar the Ouch completes that second scoring pass and decides to bring that jam to a conclusion. Mischief now passing that 100-point mark, 103 to be exact. Only 50 points separating these two teams. Still anybody's game. It's like our blockers slowly creeping back to that Trail Appliances jam line as the 5 seconds wind down. Stefunky Fresh awarded lead status, but ultimately stepping out of bounds just enough to force the recycle. Not wanting to take a trip to that Genuine sponsored penalty box. Beautiful for the pack. They're not going to let Stefunky Fresh through that easily. Cakes now bridging Stefunky back behind that WFTDI jam line. Beautiful assist by Jester there, just grabbing their jammer's jersey to whip them to the top of that pack. Through for the initial pass, but that does send Jester to our Genuine sponsored penalty box. Looks like we're going to have a 0-0 jam there for jam number 22. Just over 2 minutes left to go here. Mischief going to send out Cross with a star to face off against Smash and Dash. Mischief currently with the pack advantage with 1 in the penalty box. Dash quick to get to the top of that pack, but the Mischief blockers ready and waiting. Smash and Dash just absorbing hit after hit at the top of that apex there. Through with lead advantage, but Cross only about a half track behind. Cross so speedy to get around this track. Smash and Dash making it look easy, skating backwards through the pack, you know, scoring 4 points and assessing the situation at the same time, making it look easy. Smash and Dash opting to relinquish that lead jam advantage to give Jester a chance to put some points on the board. I feel like that's an underused strategy. We train for 2-minute jams. Why not go for it? Jester landing a hit on Cross, trying to do the run back. Pack having successfully reabsorbed Cross into their midst. Oh, and it does look like it's going to be a skating out of bounds penalty called on Cross. Perhaps misjudging where those track boundaries were. Jester gets knocked to that inside. Dam City doing a great job there to prevent the run back. Jam clock winding into its final moments. Looks like this is going to be the last jam of this game. Full 4 points put up by Jester. Doesn't look like there's going to be time for an additional scoring pass. So that unofficial score means Dam City Rollers coming out on top. 165 points to the Mischiefs, 107. We'll just wait for things to be officially official with that rolling whistle. And I will bring you your MVP awards momentarily. Thank you so much for joining us here on track number 2. Coming up next on this track is going to be the Calgary Junior Roller Derby taking on the Windy City Wipeouts. I believe the next game on track number 2 going to be starting at 3 o'clock, so at the top of the hour. So once again, thank you for sticking around to watch the Dam City Rollers versus Mischief. And be sure to go and purchase your raffle tickets over at the Chinook City merch table. The draw for the raffle prize is going to be taking place at 3:30, so only an hour left to secure your chance to win some fabulous prizes.
You can read my writing. I don't put the numbers down, but there you go.
All right, thank you. All right, I've got your MVP winners ready to go. For E-Ville, your most valuable jammer is going to be number 222, Oscar the Ouch. And your most valuable blocker going to be number 225, Kala. For the Dam City Rollers, your most valuable jammer, number 402, Chaos. And most valuable blocker. Congratulations to our MVPs.